You're now tuned in to the hottest podcast in the world, the Stay Woke Podcast, right here on the SonicBreakdown.com.
Man, it's time to wake up. Get this cake up.
Welcome back to another Stay Woke Podcast. This is D-Ray Brinson, and you know the Stay Woke Podcast is presented by the SonicBreakdown.com. So head over there and check out a review, as well as definitely come back and check out an episode of Could You Be More Specific, another show that the Stay Woke Podcast Network produces. We have Trav in the building for another Stay Woke Podcast. What's good, bro?
What's up, y'all? What's good? What's good, good people? What's good? Back in the building.
And this is going to be a real special episode. For those out there, it has been a while, but we're going to do a special episode for Mac Miller. For a lot of people that don't know, or that know, and for those that might not know, I don't know where you're at. You must be hiding under a rock. But Mac Miller passed away on September 7th of this year, at the age of 26.
It was my girl's birthday, man. I was just up getting happy. It was her birthday.
Yeah.
Pac got shot on her birthday, too. So
Wow.
That shit was crazy. September 7th, man.
Wow. Oh, shit. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even put that Pac significance with it.
Pac didn't die that day.
No, but he got shot. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mac Miller, for those out there, he was a Pittsburgh-based rapper, artist. I don't even want to classify him as a rapper. When we classify certain, he was an artist, and I think there are rappers out there, and then there are artists, and he was definitely an artist. And just to give some background information, his debut album came out in November 8th of 2011, and it was called Blue Side Park. I knew about Mac Miller since, as far as my understanding, his first mixtape, which was
Kids?
Yeah, Kids. And just to me, I guess the way that that I just want to touch on is my introduction to Mac Miller and how I kind of saw his trajectory and his career going. When Kids came out, I was young, he was young, and that's when the saying, "We're just some motherfucking kids," that he coined. And to me, it resonated with me in the regards that at that time I believe, don't want to date myself too much, but I was still that came out in 2010. So yeah, where was I, in college? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I was one year fresh of being a father when that came out, and I was looking for new hip hop. That's how I came up with a lot of these cats. That's how I bumped into Kendrick. How I got into these guys. I jumped on these guys early because during that time I was always searching for new hip hop and fresh, and I go on these mixtape websites and stuff, and I bumped into the Mac Miller project, and I was like, oh, okay, listen to this cat, and I thought he was gonna come off, and that was me. That's me being stupid, I thought he was gonna come off like another Eminem cat, Acid Roth kind of dude. But this kid, you know what I mean? I knew that he was a lyrical guy, and he can go in. And from the rip, then he had that old school vibe, the '90s feel, lyrics, you know what I mean? From the rip, and he used that Big L beat, man. That's the one that really I gravitated towards, you know what I mean? Because he had that Big L beat, that Lord Finesse did, and he was just going off. And I said, okay, I gotta pay attention to this kid, man. Word up.
Yeah, the same thing for me is Kids was the first album that I heard. I was expecting something different when I heard it. And actually, my friend put me on, so I kind of knew that it would be somewhat in my wheelhouse because the friend that put me on, we were listening to the kind of same vibes. Really, when I heard Nikes on My Feet on Kids, I was hooked. I was like, okay. Because to me, that indicated that he was a lyricist. And not only that, and I say it often, and if you listen to the podcast enough, you probably be like, damn, it's a broken record. But you can understand just him picking that production and the way that he chose to rhyme on that production showed that he did his homework. He's a hip hop historian. Like he's done his knowledge, even for being as young as he was at that time. Because I was older than him. But like I said, when Kids came out, I was in college. So that idea of, I'm just a motherfucking kid trying to have fun. That idea that's college life. Is like you out there having fun, but this is a stepping stone to your future and adulthood, but you still in that transition period.
Right.
And so, like, I felt like it just felt right, and his lyricism, like I said, and the fact that he did his knowledge to have that the Nas sample in there, and then like I said, the way that he chose to rhyme over the production indicated that he knew what he was talking about. He knows hip hop,
Definitely was a hip hop head.
and I respected that. And you can still tell that he was still that he was a kid. He was young. He was talking about young things. He's talking about, some people might say, immature things, but as he was a kid.
Yeah. I mean, he was being a kid. And, he just looking there. He's being a fucking kid like he's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Having fun with it.
And the one thing that, to me, when I first heard the news that he died, it just really...
Bad thing, man. Word.
Yeah, it took me back. It hurt. And the reason why I say it hurt is because his album Swimming just came out this year. And the content that's on Swimming, and just the evolution that I was seeing him go through, and I saw it happening from watching movies with the lights on. I started to get a hint of it. Yeah, I was starting to get with the sound off. Sorry, I was starting to get a hint of that evolution, because you're starting to get more jazz influences, less sampling, and more original sounds. And
word.
And
yes, a lot of.
Yeah, and the subject matter that he was talking about, he still had that fun, free spirit type of vibe, but he's also talking about more deeper, more introspective things that were going on in his life. And I just thought that, again, to me, that's when I started seeing the transition, because I fucked with Mac Miller, I fucked with the Kids album, and then I would listen to his music, but it wasn't something that I would go to often.
Right, me too. I mean, I think my favorite project was watching movies with the sound off, and his mixtape. Fuck, man, I knew that Yellow mixtape. Oh shit, damn it! I just had that in my mind just like an hour ago. Faces. Oh,
Faces. Yeah, that came out in 2014. Yeah.
Right. So those two projects are the ones I vibed off more. Like the latest stuff, I really didn't get into. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really get into Swimming until after his death. I feel kind of guilty about that. But I had heard a song. I probably thought maybe this one wasn't going to be a vibe for me. You know what I mean? I didn't know that was going to be his last project. Then I heard the song that he did this year called Buttons.
Yeah.
And I vibed hard off of that one. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm talking about, is like that the sound that the sounds that he was coming out with, it was, I just felt like he was having like a musical awakening. And like I said, for me, watching movies with the sound off, that was he was still, to me at that point, he was still battling of, does he want to stay in the kids area or does he want to keep on evolving? And so it was kind of basically a mixture and a perfect combination of that for that album. And then that's when I started to see him moving away from that and going more into the more exploration aspect of it with Good. I think it's Good AM or basically Good Morning it's a white album with his face on it, and that had more exploratory sounds and more jazz centered. And then came the Divine Feminine, and Divine Feminine was pretty cool too. Yeah, that was a good project. A lot of people know I put that in. I put that in high regards. I put that in high regards in 2016 as one of the better albums of that year. And the reason why I felt that is because, like I said, it just felt like at that point Mac Miller was like, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I don't care what my fans think. I don't care what the industry's telling me. I want to make this album. I want to make it about I want to make it about if God was a woman. And I want to use the sounds that I think that would be associated with that. I want to create this experience, this vibe. And then the way that the whole project laid out and the way that it ended with his mother talking about her relationship with his father, and like, it just, to me, that's when I was like, when I heard that album, I was like, oh, he's accepted who he is. He's at the point in life where he knows who he is, what he wants to be, and what he wants to talk about, and he's comfortable with it. And I think that explored on the Divine Feminine. And then on Swimming, he took it even to another level for me. Just the subject matter was even deeper.
Yeah, I was like,
And I really, really loved Swimming even before his death, and after his death, it even took on more meaning. Before his death, when I was listening to Swimming, what I took away from it is, and it felt it just feels so odd now that, that the way that he died as well was the fact of, like he says in it, I feel like I'm underwater, but I'm not in the shower getting baptized. Like that feeling that like life, we all go through it. Life can be overwhelming at times. It can feel like it's too much that we can't. And the way that I took that he was saying he's swimming is like, when you're swimming, your head's above water, but it goes down sometimes. But you're still floating, like you're making it, versus drowning. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I took it. Is like I'm swimming through life. I'm making it. My head's above water. My body's under it. Like I still feel the pressure of all the shit that you guys do. Of just life, death, love, pain, relationships, all the shit that we as human beings go through.
Yep. Everyday thing.
But I'm still keeping my head above the water. I'm still maintaining. And that's really what I took from it. And then with his passing, that he was still dealing with those issues, that he's still having those battles.
Right.
It just was eye-opening. And then really when you break down the lyrics on the songs like 2009, it's just, it's just crazy how like some of those words have so much meaning. And it's like, I don't want to sound like crazy and shit, but it's like it feels like he had a feeling like he knew
that he was getting ready to be about it. Yeah, I mean,
because like that song, he's like, "What's on the other side of those doors?" And the way the piano plays, it has like an ominous feeling, and even though it's in a higher key, which kind of gives you a lightness to it, but it just has a feeling to it that, like I said, it just sticks with me.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
I can feel that. He made previous songs about all this, man. Like that song's Death on Faces. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Funeral. It was called Funeral, my fault.
Yeah, he's been talking about this for a while.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, we've seen it happen with Pac, seen it happen with Biggie. I mean, it's like it's kind of like they know. Prodigy always mentioned death too as well. You know what I'm saying? Made songs about it and said certain things. Fighting a Good Fight was one of his last songs on his last album. He basically knowing that he's gonna get about it soon. He's gonna fight it and he's gonna have his little fun on this earth until his little life is done. He already these guys they know for some way they figure it. They know. I don't know if they birth the energy towards them or they just have the intuition that they know. Either way, it's just like when you hear records like that and that stuff like that happens, man. Just shit's a blow when you hear it. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing that I want to talk about too is the thing that really bothered me when they were talking about and announcing his death was they kept on referring to him as Ariana Grande's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like he was more than that. Like to me, like
way more.
Like that should be like, if there's a list of the things that he did, that should be like maybe 120th. He was a musician, an artist, a human before, like all of that, because that to me that devalues and discredits all the things that he did prior to being with her. You know what I'm saying? And all the things he did after. His music, which was his biggest contribution to the world, that should be the thing that I just felt like they should have introduced him as, the artist Mac Miller. And then further down the byline, if you want to get to the point of, Ariana's ex-boyfriend, then fine, because that's how some people are going to know him, is through that. Right. But I guarantee you more people know him through his music than they knew him as Ariana Grande.
Absolutely, man. Especially hip hop cats, man. He's been around for a minute, man. Static Selector had him on projects for a long period of time. Alchemist has been working with him.
Yeah,
Static Selector and Alchemist put out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because true hip hop heads respected Mac Miller. No, like I'd never heard any true hip hop head, even if you didn't like his music, they wouldn't say, "Oh well." They still fucked with him. You know what I'm saying? Like they wouldn't talk bad about him. They're like, I might not like his music, but hey, he comes with it. He's really serious about it. He does his homework. He's not just doing this just to do it. He does it because he loves it. He loves the passion for it. And that's why like Rhapsody, who I respect, fucked with Mac Miller. You know what I'm saying? Because she respected his grind and he respected hers as well. Like it was game recognized game. And just going back to the swimming track list, the first track on there is Come Back to Earth.
I vibed out to that joint. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then the last track is So It Goes. To me, it was a really good project before. Jet Fuel is one of my favorite songs on there as well. And Jet Fuel kind of makes me sad as well, because the way that I took Jet Fuel was like, I'm never going to run out of jet fuel is kind of what he says. It's basically like, I believe that I have whatever it is within me to keep myself going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I have that energy within me to not allow anything to stop me, and I'm going to keep moving. And the fact that, you know, it did end. That what brings that sadness, is that it did end. And as well as I would have loved to seen what his next projects and him continuing to grow as an artist, because like I said, the production on here, the jazz influence, I feel like he really was embracing that aspect of music and exploring it and would have explored it further even more. So it's just sad to see that happen as well.
Yeah, man, that shit that shit fucked me up for a few days, man. I ain't gonna front. Like, I'm listening to a lot of Mac shit, old shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, the lyrics over again. I'm like, damn, man, he's been struggling for a long time with these inner demons and shit. And that's why I made it a point to put a post out. And I was like, yo, everybody talking about this drug use and all that shit, but yo, it's very hard to fight for an average person, this person that is not in the music industry, to fight inner demons.
Yeah,
you understand? Guys in the industry and around a lot of money and yes men and fucking all this bullshit. So on top of the issues you already had as just being a human being, now you got the extra shit with being an artist and the pressure and the fucking, like, yo, it's a lot to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And he's been dealing with this shit for a long period of time. You listen to his music, so I'd never judge a person on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that shit is rough. You know, you can have these battles, these inner demon battles all the time. He might win he might win all of them, but then the overall war sometimes can take a toll, and that can cause your demise.
And money can't save you from that.
Yeah, it's just nothing that you can do. You can't, you know, that Bentley ain't gonna get you up out of that six on the ground. That cup of lean ain't gonna make you come back to life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, this shit was just like, yo, all respect due to Mac Miller, man. I listened to a lot of his shit. He was respected by about 90% of the real MCs, man. Like, yo, they fucked with Mac Miller. There's no rapper on this planet that's a real hip hop lyricist that I've seen that didn't fuck with Mac Miller.
Like I said,
Styles,
even if you didn't like his music, you still respected him.
Yep.
You still respected
Yes.
his talent.
Man.
Yeah. So
he was definitely nice, and I'm gonna always rock with him. Always had watching movies with the sound off and all in my phone and my iPod forever. Like, I go back to the song like Avion. I like the vibe off of that one. I Am, that song at the end, the joint with Jay Electronica, the Star Room.
the fact that he got on a track with Jay Electronica just shows you, because Jay Electronica don't get on tracks with he hardly get on tracks with nobody. So
that's super rare.
And he only Jay Electronica will not get on a track if he don't respect you, and so
that's extremely rare.
Like I said, man, I encourage everybody, if you haven't, go re-listen to some Mac Miller music. His whole discography is dope. It's a really good. He put out a lot of music in the very short time that he was here. Yeah, he put out a lot of music in a short time that he was here. Everybody that hasn't listened to Swimming, I definitely, like I said, even before his passing, I still had it in my mind. It was at least in the top 10 of hip-hop albums of this year for me, because like I said, production-wise, Thundercat did a lot of the production. He was executive producer, I believe, for it. You can definitely tell a lot of that jazz Thundercat influence. The subject matter, the lyrics are there. It's just a well-done project. So I definitely say you need to check that out, but you need to go back through all of his projects. Best Day Ever, Macadelics, Faces, Live from Space. Yeah, and
all those joints.
Yeah, so definitely go check all those out, man. Is there anything else you want to say for the Mac Miller?
Yeah, episode? Just just know that he was one of the special ones, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't get a lot of those MCs here. You know what I'm saying? Not only a few cats that come through that leave a mark, and he was one of them. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta give him respect for that. You know what I mean? Because we get like a handful of these artists like once every decade, you know what I mean? So as a millennium kid, you know what I'm saying, for all those people that came around that time, you know what I'm saying, that was one of y'all guys, man, straight up. You know what I'm saying? You know, we don't get many of them like I said, we get like a handful every other decade. He definitely came through with a special dude, man, special MC. And just show respect, you know what I'm saying? Salute him for that. And let's check out his music, man. You know what I mean? You find something that might be helpful for you, for your life. You know what I mean? All respect, Mac Miller, man. Rest in power to that brother, man. Hold it up.
Yeah, and I just want to second that. I want to say I want to definitely give a shout out to his family. I know you guys are going through a hard time, and as well, I want to say definitely check out his music, and yeah, and for everybody out there that's struggling and going through something, as Max said, just try to keep swimming. Just try to keep your head above the water.
Keep your head above water.
Yeah, try to keep your head above the water, and yeah, reach out to somebody, talk to people. You know, there's a lot more support out there than we think. We just have to sometimes reach out, sometimes put our pride aside and say, you know, I need help.
No doubt.
So definitely, I want to say thank you again, Trav, for doing another episode with me. This is a special one again. And it's always good doing a podcast or episode with you because I know you care about the music just as much as I do. So
absolutely.
So,
absolutely. Yeah. We got more coming. We got more coming. We got more episodes coming through. And we always going to give you the real, break down things, break down the real stuff.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
So I want to say thank you to everybody for listening to another Stay Woke podcast. This was another great episode. Thank you to Trav. Thank you to the listeners.
Thank you for having me in the building.
No problem, man. And I want to say, you know our motto, live, listen to some great music, and above all, love more.
Love more, no doubt.
R.I.P. Mac Miller.
R.I.P. Mac.